It's mailbag time here on NFL Daily. Mitchell Wren's ready to answer all y'all's questions. If you want to see some of your questions featured in a future mailbag, all you got to do, subscribe and turn on those notifications. That way you can join me when I go live. And Tom and I, we go live every single Monday and Wednesday. Harrison and Chase, they go live on Thursday as well. So if you want those questions in, you got to join us live, y'all. Let's go to Jamie. What up, man? The people that think that Watson is going to make the Dolphins a contender, all I have to say is the 2020 Texans. You know, you bring up a very valid point there, though I still think that Miami is a better overall team than the 2020 Texans. But this year, no, Deshaun doesn't make Miami a contender. Next year, with all that draft capital that they have, if they can make a few right pieces, yes, I would actually be a little bit worried about the Dolphins, who did just win 10 games last season. Who else should the Dolphins trade for? The Dolphins should not trade for anybody. You're 1-5, 1-6 at this point. You haven't looked good whatsoever. I would say probably move on from maybe Austin Jackson, Noah Igbenogany, some of these first-round picks that haven't worked. Try to get even more draft capital and hope for the best going forward. This year is over for Miami. At this point, you are sellers, not buyers. So how about this? I like this one. I want you to name a player that is guaranteed to get traded at the deadline. The deadline is November 2nd. We're going to be live here on Chat Sports. Make sure you turn on those notifications and subscribe. But guaranteed, like you're betting your next paycheck that this player ends up getting dealt. If I was going to bet my next paycheck on any player in the NFL that's going to get traded, I would probably end up going with either Marlon Mack or Kyle Fuller. Those are the two players that I'm the most confident that end up getting dealt. If I have to give another name, it's Brandon Cooks.
From Boss Man Thin. Okay. Should Minnesota go get Xavien Howard from the Dolphins? If he's available, sure. I think a Patrick Peterson, once he's healthy, Howard, and then you can keep Danzer on the bench since you hate him for whatever reason, that could make some sense. I don't think Howard gets dealt. I think Miami needs to win games right now because, I mean, they don't have their own first-round pick. They can't tank. It doesn't do anything for them. So I think if you're Miami, you're probably not going to trade away Xavien Howard. From Cameron Kingsley, is Tua a realistic backup for Dallas? No. I think his value is still high. Like if you're a team like Washington, for example, you would trade a hell of a lot more for Tua to be your starter than for Tua to be a backup in Dallas. From Raiders and Lakers, do you think Brian Flores gets fired? Unless something changes, I think so. I thought the Dolphins, even if they regressed a little bit, would still be like, 500 at worst. They're bad right now, and they're bad. They're not like, okay, they're getting beaten by good teams barely. They're getting beaten barely by bad teams. That's not good. So, right this second, no, but I do think Flores is on the hot seat right now in Miami. SPF, lots of numbers. What is Tua's trade value if Miami decides to upgrade before the deadline? Could you get a first for him? It's a bad quarterback class, so I think you might be able to. But teams have also tried to commit to current quarterbacks. It makes things very questionable in terms of getting proper value back from Tua. And I think the issue here for Miami is once you trade for a new quarterback, the Tua value plummets. What are you going to do? Keep him? We watched that with Arizona and Josh Rosen. So the timing of a Tua trade kind of has to be almost simultaneous of, hey, we're going to trade you and get Deshaun Watson, but teams also know that. So from a value perspective, it does bring it down. Frankly, if I were Miami, I'd see what Tua can do for the rest of the year because you got to win games with no first-round pick. At least your own first-round pick, I should say. Now, Chat Sports, folks, we think, my mom thinks, producer Sam's family thinks, has the best NFL videos on the internet. So if you want them for free, hit that big red button and subscribe. Videos every single day, including, but not limited to, the latest NFL trade rumors. Now, today's show is helped out by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. If you want to gamble on the NFL, make some money, do it with BetUS. You can get a 125% deposit bonus when you use promo code NFL Daily at chatsports.com/bet. Now, I mentioned the jersey earlier. Here's how you can get it. To get the deposit bonus and the jersey, you have to put down at least $100 using promo code NFL Daily at chatsports.com/bet. Then email us jersey@chatsports.com. We have a ton of different official Nike NFL jerseys that are available for you guys, from Joe Burrow all the way down to Dak Prescott as well, Kyler Murray, etc. Tons of options for you guys. We will need, a screenshot of your first bet, your BetUS account number, and, what jersey and size you guys want. Tons of different options, though, for whatever favorite team you guys have. So if you want in on this deal, email us jersey@chatsports.com. I'll put the email, by the way, to make your lives a bit easier, in both the comment section and in the description. But remember, it's all thanks to our friends over at BetUS, chatsports.com/bet, and promo code NFL. You got to get going with them to get the jersey deal. For my burner account, our first super chat, most overrated and underrated front office. Ooh, good question. I don't think Buffalo has gotten enough credit for the job they've done around Josh Allen. I think the Bills are a bit underrated. I know it's kind of Carolina, north to an extent. I think they're an underrated front office. I am a bit worried about the Colts right now. I've always liked Chris Ballard, but bit of a red flag on that front. I think maybe not so much overrated now, but they were like maybe 2 weeks ago. The Dolphins, but we've kind of flipped on them very quickly. I will say this, I think the Saints, with the way they manipulate the cap, puts them at the tip top. They are one of the better front offices, I think, in the NFL.
Let's go to Trace twice. Do you think Duke Johnson is worth an ad in a PPR league? All right, so I actually kind of like this question. Obviously, I'm a fantasy football nut. So the Miami Dolphins, they went out and they signed Duke Johnson. He's right now on their practice squad. I know a lot of Dolphins fans were excited about this. He's the all-time leading rusher at Miami. The real connection is, though, Duke once played with, guess who, Deshaun Watson. If Watson has a chance of going to Miami, I say yes. Malcolm Brown just went on IR, and we know Duke is actually, I believe he's the only running back in NFL history, his first 4 seasons in the league, to have over 50 receptions as a running back. I believe that's the stat. So, yes, I actually would pick him up in a PPR league. Let's go to L2 Cloud Z. Where do you think Allen Robinson getting traded to? My top destinations for Robinson, and I did a trade last week, was the New England Patriots. I asked Harrison today, hey, could you give me an Allen Robinson trade? And the deal he ended up saying was a second-round pick, and second-round pick to the New England Patriots, right? So, I think the Patriots just make the most sense there for A-Rob. But if you guys want to let me know where you think he could end up getting dealt, I mean, at the end of the day, I would say yes. He probably needs to get out of Chicago. Somebody can go ahead and pay him. The connection with him and Justin Fields, it's simply not there. So Allen Robinson would be a hell of a name. There is no doubt about that. So who will be the biggest name traded before the NFL trade deadline on November 2nd? Let me know down in the comments. And if a big-name player does end up getting dealt, like A-Rob, like Deshaun Watson, like Tua Tagovailoa, anything like that, we're going to be going ahead and making a video about it. So what I want you to do right now is hit that subscribe button. We're also going to be live for the NFL trade deadline, so subscribe. Turn on those notifications. That way you don't miss any of our live shows or the breaking news. If you're wondering how to turn on your notifications, this is how you do it on your mobile device. So when you're on your phone, right, like you're sitting there like this, you see that little bell, you click that bell, and then you got to click all. That way when you get all of our notifications for all the shows that we do. Now maybe, I don't know, you don't have a cell phone in today's world. Hey, I get it. You're on your desktop watching us right now. Same thing. On your mouse pad, scroll up, click the notification bell. It's going to be right here on your screen. And then a nice big old, I was going to say letters, but I guess it's a picture. Then you click all. I don't want you to miss anything because let's just say a week from now you're like, oh, will Mark Ingram get traded to the Saints? I'm going to be like, he already got traded to the Saints. Subscribe, turn on those noties.
Colton Davis, who will have the most receiving yards at the end of the year? Ooh, good question. I so badly want to say Jamar Chase will lead the way. I think the answer, though, the leader right now is Cooper Kupp. That feels like a pretty good answer still. Dark horse name to keep an eye out for, Tyreek Hill. I know he's been inconsistent. He's down by like 150 yards right now, But think about it this way. They're going to throw it a lot in KC. So I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill or Cooper Kupp. From Stargazer, which happens first? Lions win or Cardinals first loss? Well, of course, Arizona does play on Thursday Night Football, which complicates things a little bit here. I'm going to lean towards the Lions win this week, so we'll see how that relates to Arizona. For Marquise Robertson, hi Tom, also Chase, Harrison, and Mitchell. Michael Renz, and the rest of the Chat Sports crew. Predictions to the Super Bowl, also I have subscribed. Thank you, Marquise or Marquis. My preseason prediction was Packers-Chiefs. Canceling the Chiefs, I'm going Bills, and I guess I'll stick with Packers to keep some credibility there. But hey, let me know what you guys think in the comments.